Good morning, class. Today we are going to be making banana walnut pancakes. So things that we're going to need is syrup, salt, butter, cinnamon, an egg, sugar, baking powder, flour, nuts or walnuts. You can see those I've already chopped them. Vanilla extract, bananas, and milk. Then we're also going to need some measuring spoons, 2 bowls, a whisk, a measuring cup, and a skillet and a stove. So I am going to be making my pancake mix from scratch, but you guys are more than happy to use the Bisquick or box pancake mix and then just add these extra things to it. So first things first, we're going to get started by washing our hands. So let's make sure we do that before we cook anything. We'll wash with soap and water and we'll get ready to go here. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we are going to have to make our pancake mix. So we're going to do this by adding wet ingredients to one bowl and dry ingredients to another, and then we're going to combine the two. So our dry ingredients we're going to start with is flour, and we are going to add 1 cup of flour to our bowl, like that. And then the next thing we are going to add is sugar, and we are going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar to the mix. There's 1 tablespoon, and there's another tablespoon. Next, we're going to use our teaspoon that we have right here. And we are going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So we're going to make sure these are nice and level. And there's 1. And here's 2. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to add is a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So we got our salt here. Measure a 1/2 teaspoon. Add that in there. Okay, so we'll kind of just swirl that around a little bit, and then we're going to do our wet ingredients. So we're going to start out by getting out 2 tablespoons of butter, and as you can see on the side of the stick here, like I've showed you before, the tablespoons are already measured. So we're just going to count 1, 2, and then we're going to cut it, and we are going to put this into our smaller bowl. We're going to put this in the microwave for about 30 seconds. We just want the butter to melt. So we'll put our microwave on for about 30 seconds, maybe less, and let that melt. While you're waiting for that to melt, you can get your milk and your egg ready, because those things are going to be added in as well. So looks like our butter is almost there. We don't want to soften it, we want to melt it all the way, so give it enough time to be able to do that. And it looks like we're there. So now we've melted our butter like so, and we are going to add 1 cup of milk to our butter. So pour out our milk. It doesn't matter what kind of milk you use, we're using 2%. And we are going to put that into our butter. And then we are going to add our egg, which we have here. So you want to be careful when you're cracking it, and just put it onto the side of the bowl and gently hit it. In. Okay, now we're going to take our whisk and we are going to start mixing up our egg and everything right here. and kind of blend the egg into this milk and butter mix. Which you can see now we've kind of broken the yolk and got this all nice and mixed together. And then we are going to add this to our flour mixture. So you can just add that in and you can start stirring. You'll kind of see this start to thicken up into a pancake batter. If it looks like it's a little thick, which this kind of does, you can always just add a little bit more milk. So we're just going to add another splash of milk here. And we'll mix this up real good. And that seems like some good pancake mix right there. All right. So now we got to add our extra ingredients. So that was our pancake mix. So if you guys are buying a box of pancake mix, you will have exactly what you need right there. And now we're going to add about a half a cup of walnuts to our mix, which I've already kind of chopped. May not put quite all these in, so maybe more of a third of a cup. And we'll mix that in real good. Okay. And when you start adding things to the pancake mix, it is going to thicken up a little bit, so you may want to add a little bit more milk at the end. Now we're going to get out our banana, and you're going to need 2 bananas for this. And the first one you're going to peel apart, and you can put this into a smaller bowl. This, and you're actually just going to take a fork and you're going to mash it up. So you can kind of see, you want your bananas to be kind of ripe when you do this, but we are just going to mash this up into smaller pieces. And this is a good way to, maybe your kids don't like to eat fruit all that much, and this is a good way to hide a banana in something. So if you have some picky eaters in your house, maybe you can try giving them a banana this way. So we're going to mash that up real good. And we are going to add this banana to our pancake mix. So now that we got that all nice and mashed up, we're going to pour that in. And we are going to give this another good stir. And like I said, this is going to make your mix kind of thicken up a little bit. So I'm going to add just another splash of milk. Mix that in good. Okay. Now you're going to take out your half teaspoon and you are going to add a half teaspoon of vanilla and then a half teaspoon of cinnamon. There's our vanilla. This is dry. And now we'll add some cinnamon. So a half teaspoon of cinnamon. And we'll give this another good mix. All right. So now our banana walnut pancake batter is ready to go. So now we got to make our pancakes. And we're going to do this on the stovetop. So we'll head over to our stove here. But first we got one other thing we need to do. So we're going to take our second banana here. And we are going to peel it. And then we are going to slice it into thin little slices. You may not need the whole banana depending on how much you use, but We'll just get a couple slices here for us. All right. Now, next step is take the bananas over here to your stove. And you got your pancake mix here. And we are going to make ourselves some pancakes. So I'm going to just turn on this light right here. See if it's got a little light. And we are going to turn on our burner. This burner burns really high, so I'm going to turn it down to about medium-low here because we don't want them to burn. And then we are going to use some butter or cooking spray to grease our pan. I'm going to use butter. You can also use oil for this. Anything will really work, but butter seems to keep things from sticking. So I'm going to put a little bit of butter in there, and I'm going to melt that. Now, next we're going to make our pancakes, and you can do this a couple different ways. You could use a ladle. I'm going to use this little quarter cup to make mine. This should make our pancakes pretty equal in size, and we'll just whip one up right here. So spread that butter around the bottom of the pan so it doesn't stick. And then once the butter melts, we can start making our pancakes. Okay, so now you can see the butter's melted in the pan. We'll keep it from sticking, and we are going to take this scoop, and we are going to grab a quarter cup, and we are going to pour that into our skillet. This pan isn't too big, so we'll just do one pancake at a time, and I'll make 2 pancakes. I think this recipe will probably make you about 8 pancakes or so. So you're going to get your spatula ready, and you're going to let this cook. And we're going to keep our eyes on the edges because those are going to turn golden brown, and that's when it's going to be time to flip. So let's give this a little bit of time to cook, and then we'll turn it. While that part's cooking, we're going to lay a couple of those banana slices that we had into our pancakes. Like that. All right, and you can hear it's starting to get a little warmer. And just but let it cook. I'd say you're going to cook it for about 2 minutes on each side. Get a plate ready. As you can see, our pancakes are starting to puff up a little bit, which is a good sign. And they're not sticking to the pan, which is another good sign. So we'll give it just another minute, and then we'll flip. You can kind of lift up the pancake and see how it's doing. I think it's still got another minute or so. You can smell the cinnamon, and it's starting to look pretty good here. So, as you can see, you put butter in the pan, and your pancakes kind of just easily slide all over. And we'll give this another look. Okay, so our pancake looks about ready to flip. So we are going to get under there with our spatula, and we are going to give it a turn. And we'll cook this side for about the same as the other side, maybe a little bit less, so about 2 minutes or so. They smell good. that side go for just a little bit. You want to make sure that you leave it down just long enough because sometimes the middle of it will still be a little doughy if you don't. Maybe just one more minute. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so there's our pancake. We got both sides cooked pretty good. So we are going to take our spatula and we are going to move this one to the plate. We'll set that there. You could turn on your oven to just keep these warm while you make some more pancakes, but I'm just going to make 2 right now for you guys. So we'll just go right into our second one. We'll drop our dough. As the pan gets a little hotter, the pancakes are going to cook quicker. So just keep that in mind. This one's probably going to cook pretty fast. So we'll take our bananas and we'll lay those in there like that. Let this guy cook for just a little bit. Get that butter in there so it doesn't stick. As you go, you may need to add just a little bit more butter to your pan to make sure that they don't stick. Also, if you guys have cooking spray, that's a pretty good substitution for butter when you're making pancakes. This one does stick in a little bit more, but that's okay. All right, let's check this one out. All right, so as I said, they're going to cook a little faster, so this side's already done. We're going to flip. We're going to let that side go for just a little bit. Oh, still got just another minute or 2 on that one. If you have a bigger pan, you could probably do more than one pancake. I could probably do more than one pancake too in this, but just for teaching purposes, we'll do one at a time. All right, we're almost there. I'll give this one a quick look. All right, and you can see those bananas kind of just melt into the pancake. And we are going to take this one out and put it here. All right, and then now, while this one's going, Mr. A is just going to, he's got some leftover mix, so we're just going to get another one going here. We'll put it in there. And we'll get one more pancake going while we get these other ones ready to eat. So there's our pancake. Put that in there. And then if you guys come over here, we've got our 2 nice looking pancakes here. You can add whatever you want to the top. Since there's already a good amount of butter in the mix, Mr. A is just going to add some maple syrup to these. You could warm up the syrup too, but this is room temperature, so we're just going to go with it. And you can put your syrup on there. And get your fork and knife. Got yourself a little taste. And they are delicious. So hopefully over break, you guys can get a chance to make some banana walnut pancakes with your family. Happy holidays, everyone.